Tomorrow is the day all Division I college football players are due back on campus for full squad summer workouts. And as Keith Russell reports, the UTEP Miners have a running back from Kennedale High School who has more than one motivation this season. To be specific, he'll be running for two in this, his senior season in El Paso.
Quardraiz Wadley works out at his high school alma mater, knowing when he returns to UTEP, the hopes and dreams of the Miners this season, in a lot of ways, will rest squarely on his shoulders.
I'll just have to try to keep everyone in a positive mindset. We don't want anyone turning on anyone. The main thing I would try to tell my guys is at this time we all just need to stay together, don't get divided.
Even in the midst of a nation that seems divided more than ever, and a pandemic that will not subside, Wadley won't let his mind stray from his focus, having an amazing senior year.
My ultimate goal is to, I want to go to the NFL, so I need to rush for at least 1,500 and maybe 20 touchdowns, so the scouts can see, like, he's the real deal.
Ask any of Q's coaches, he has nothing left to prove. Kennedale coach Richard Barrett remembers when Wadley played for him, and the same thing that made him the 4A Player of the Year is the same thing he possesses now.
He has a purpose, and he's passionate about playing football. And I think when you have those kinds of things that are working for you, then the sky's the limit.
UTEP head coach Dana Dimmel couldn't agree more.
When you have a special player, one that really loves the game, you know, it's hard to find the guys that have that true passion for the game, and then also to find somebody that's playing the game because they love the game of football, A, and B, because they want to make those around you better.
Leadership, something Quardraiz has worked on tirelessly, to the point where this summer he had a 2-hour lunch with Luke Laufenberg to inquire how he could get even stronger in that category.
I told him I've been trying to work on leadership, and he just gave me a different perspective of it. He just always said, just always do the right thing, even if it means you can get hurt, even if it means you can lose your life. It was just that simple. Just always try to do the right thing.
What was interesting was I wasn't there to preach to him, to pontificate, to say anything about how things are done. We just exchanged ideas. So it was gratifying that he took that away from it.
The lunch also gave Babe and Q a chance to discuss Wadley switching from jersey number 4 to number 2, a number that Wadley wore proudly at Kennedale, but a number he'll wear with even more pride than ever now. That was the number Babe's son Luke wore at UTEP before he passed away from a heroic battle with cancer in August of last year.
We felt like Luke's going to be with us forever, and a way to keep him with us is to keep that number 2 and only give it to players that exemplify the same characteristics of leadership and being a great teammate that Luke brought to our football program.
The ancient Egyptians believed that if you say a man's name, he's still alive. And my hope is that if you wear the number, he's still alive, or at least he's going to live through these players at UTEP that come along and wear that number 2.
I remember Luke, he always brought a big smile to the room. He never wanted to see anyone down. He was easily the hardest worker in the room, never complained about anything, super honorable person.
The ultimate testament of a player's impact is to have a number retired or used as a standard for others to aspire to. Just imagine, that's the case for Luke, despite never playing a game for the Miners before he got sick. That tells you everything you need to know about the impact he had on the UTEP program and everyone he came in contact with, including Quardraiz.
He and Luke had conversations, and while Luke was still there, and he said, if you don't make it back, I want to wear your number. And obviously he did not make it back, and I like the fact that those two were friends, and they bonded. So it's not just a guy that comes in and you say, hey, well, this was what Luke was all about. Q knew what Luke was all about and wanted to take that number on, and to a certain extent that responsibility on, because I do think once you take that number now, you take that number 2 at UTEP, I think there is a sense of responsibility and leadership that's going to come with it.
Q is already leading by example, working his way back from a devastating injury, a dislocated left big toe, and ligament damage that caused him to miss all of last year.
I can remember when he called and told me that it hurt his foot and was going to be flying to LA to get it fixed and things like that. And I know he was really disappointed and really down, but at the same time, I think he used that as his fuel, as his motivation.
Motivation to lift himself to new heights.
I feel like I have a lot to prove. I just want to show my teammates and the fans and everyone that I'm ready and I'm back.
And if it works out as planned, Wadley will be right where his former college roommate Aaron Jones is, in the NFL. You know Aaron Jones, the guy who helped wave bye-bye to the Cowboys last year.
But when you talk about being around Aaron Jones and you talk about handling adversity and talk about learning from what Luke taught him and showed him to motivate him, you know, those are the things that I think he's learned and grown from.
Quardraiz Wadley can't wait to make some moves this season, and as he departs Kennedale for a return trip to El Paso, just know when you see UTEP's number 2, it represents so many things at once. And like the old saying, it's all good.
I feel like there's some magic in this number.
There certainly is. Keith Russell, CBS 11 Sports.
What a worthy man to be the first to wear Luke's number 2. We want to let you know about the Luke Laufenberg Fight Endowed Scholarship at UTEP. You can donate to the Luke Fight Fund. Go to utepminers.com/Luke Fight.